I'm starting to think we should do a show on Sundays because then we don't have to come in like this because we come in after a Canes game. And what happens is the Canes game gets wiped out by Lance Bass from In Sync kicking a 61-yarder. Guy's never going to make another 60-plus yard field goal in the rest of his career. But of course, he makes that one. And so now we have to start the show like this when we should be talking about the 9-0 Canes. But, you know, that's what's fresh in our memory from yesterday. And so we have to weep a little bit.
Canes are very good.
Canes are good, man.
Canes are very good. I love it.
Cam Ward, that team. See, this is the familiar Monday feeling. So the Hurricanes did their thing. Dolphins didn't. And we've got a tale of two very different Miami football teams right now. But this Cam Ward and Xavier Restrepo, they're fun. Like, this team can score points. And you know how I love points because the defense has been a little suspect all season long. They can score points. And that makes it fun, man. It's just fun.
And with the Dolphins game, don't kill me, that was good football.
I thought so.
That really was good football. Uh-oh.
What happened?
I drank a pineapple seltzer and it's kicked up something.
He hasn't cleared his throat in 22 years.
And every coach, he can still.
I mean,
Medvedev be doing his thing lately.
How's your phlegm?
Alfredo sauce is his mouthwash of choice.
Jack Daniels has always made whiskey, and if they have it their way, they always will. And who cares if Tua goes home and
Legend has it, his phlegm is more dangerous than hot lava from a volcano.
We were blaming it on injury.
Oh my goodness. I mean, that is. I mean, is someone waterboarding you?
Goodness, I almost died.
Channing Crowder is the phlegmiest man in the world.
And some of those, maybe the baby carrots and ranch weren't a great pre-show snack.
See, the thing with Crowder, Solana, it doesn't, like, nothing takes because he always goes, oh, I had coffee or I had dairy or whatever. But then he goes, I had a pineapple seltzer. Well, so his entire life is spent all phlegmed up.
I come nasally. I got a lot of nasal.
Blow your nose in the morning. What goes on? What goes on in your?
I don't know.
From the neck up, what's going on constantly?
I was a good strong 2-month run that I was clean.
No, we were just nice to you. We were just nice. We just didn't play it.
Well, like I was saying, that was a playoff team with an MVP quarterback getting played drive for drive to the last moments of the game to win. That was good football.
In Buffalo, by the way.
We didn't come off on top in Buffalo. And that's what I was looking at the game. And then I was out listening to Joe today. I was listening to Tobin Leroy and them. That was the football game you're supposed to play. And that's what it's supposed to look like. And you're supposed to come out on top of them. But the run game was going. Solana, I told you, don't have a shootout. I was saying we don't have a shootout team anymore. We have that team. We have 27-24 teams. That's the games we have to win and lose. So that was the most impressive loss of the season, I would say. Out of the 6 losses, that was an impressive loss.
Yeah, Tua was excellent, by the way, and anyone who has anything bad to say about Tua, I think, is just kind of entrenched in a position. Like, you can't ask, he's accurate. I mean, he had that bad, snap exchange at the beginning. Everybody was ready to jump all over him, but he was excellent. The offense scored enough points, and to be quite honest, there's a couple of mistakes that end up going, the other team's direction. The Jordan Poyer penalty. Listen, I never played defense. It's very difficult for a defensive player to be able to, accurately judge exactly where everyone's going to be when the offensive player can move around. It's a penalty. I'm not saying it's not a penalty because it is a penalty. It's helmet to helmet. And then, listen, if you told me that you have a chance to go to overtime against a Buffalo team that's favored by almost a touchdown, and it'll all come down to a Tyler Bass 61-yard field goal, and I've seen the guy miss an extra point and doink another extra point in, like, I'd take that scenario every time, as would Mike McDaniel, and it just didn't, of course are the two words that we utter a lot in South Florida, and that was an of course.
There's 3 more minutes. We go down and kick a field goal or score a touchdown and win it or tie it. That's how playoff game. That looked like a playoff game to me. That's what you watch when you watch the good teams play the good teams. It's that second half. If what it is, progression. And I know I'm not talking about playoffs. I think we're too far away. We'd have to win 9 in a row. I know. I understand all of that, but it looked like we were playing football again yesterday, and that's what I took away from the game, even with the loss.
And that's the Tua effect. And by the way, for those who might question, Dan Orlovsky tweeted this out. Since Tua has come back, 2 games. Since Tua has come back, he's 53 for 66 with 465 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, average of 27 points per game, and they've lost both games. It ain't his fault.
No.
I think he's doing his part.
Yeah. And they're picking on whoever Jalen Ramsey's not covering. I don't know if Pitty understood that. Like, oh, he's got Marcus May and Cam Smith are making all these tackles. Yeah, because they're throwing at them every time. Like, they can see the weakness. They can see I call them ducks. Where's the duck at? Okay, going over there by him. Yeah, these guys get paid too. I said it last week. Buffalo is a top 5 offense in this league with an MVP candidate. And it looked like it. I'll tell him the damn defense, some of them calls were ridiculous. They played zone and zone was going good. Every time they blitzed them is a big play. Hey, fella, stop sending people. Let them play the zone. Let them get 7 yards, work down the field and see if you can get stop them on a 3rd and 4. Every time they send somebody, they let that little pretty eye boy catch the ball in the flat and go 70 damn yards. I said, he got blue eyes. Ain't nobody whooping me with no green eyes.
I think a lot of the problems are defensive, and I would say that you really have to look at Chris Greer. Again, we've talked about this the last few weeks, but you could have locked in Christian Wilkins a couple seasons ago. You gambled on him. You could have signed Andrew Van Ginkel really for what you were. That's the one that's confounding. I see the look on Solana's face. That's the one that is so confounding to me. It's not like he went and got this massive payday in Minnesota. It was pretty equivalent. So I don't, you have to question some of and remember when it first started happening, we were a little up in arms over the defense, but then they made some moves and you were like, you know what? Maybe didn't we sign someone that ended up retiring on the first day of camp? Was it Shaq Barrett maybe?
Shaq Barrett.
Yeah. And obviously there's injuries too, but I mean, you can't feel despondent after that. You can feel despondent because the season's over. Like you can feel that way. You can't feel despondent about the performance because the performance, like you said, I mean, that's kind of what you're going to do against a really good team on the road. Like that's the game you're hoping for. You're not going to go in there and smoke them.
Am I disgusted about the last 6 weeks? Yes. Am I disgusted about the last 24 hours? Nowhere close. And defensively, you have 2 Pro Bowl caliber defensive ends. We get no pass rush, and Josh Allen was sitting back there. He was playing 7-on-7. But if Bradley Chubb and Jalen Phillips are in there, this defense looks a lot better. I'm not defending Chris Greer because there's flaws in this roster. But yeah, just taking into account, like that was a hell of an effort on both sides of the ball yesterday by a team that's not going to make the playoffs and shouldn't make the playoffs with how they played the last month and a half.
You say effort?
I was encouraged.
Just be happy he was able to get it out without Fleming up.
I was encouraged by yesterday. And then the Lions lose their best defensive end, and they go beat people by 60.
Yeah. They're a special team, man.
Ooh,
they're a special team. They're fun to watch. You can't not like Dan Campbell and watching him getting just pelted by rain, and he loves it. He loves it. Like he loves
playing the rain. We playing the snow, playing the mud. Where are you gonna put us? We'll play. We're built for this.
So the defensive coordinator, his glasses. They were making fun of him on the broadcast because he couldn't see out of his glasses. Doesn't matter.
He doesn't care. Coached by feel. Coached by feel.